It is about time that I had a box of vintage issues for an unboxing video. So many issues are modern. Vintage newsstand issues are so tough to come by these days. So it's fun that we've got a box of vintage issues. My name's Jim. I'm with CGC Sports Illustrated. You know the rules. I know what these issues are. I don't know the grades. So you're getting my surprise reaction on this video. All vintage issues. Okay, let's talk about this because I get DMs and I get questions a lot as it relates to pressing, where people say, well, you know what, this is it's a new issue. I just bought this issue right off the newsstand. Does it need to be pressed? If you care about the grade, you should get it pressed. That's like saying, I just bought this pack of baseball cards. I just opened it up. They should all be PSA 10s, right? They're all PSA 10s. I just opened it up. It's the same thing. In fact, it's even more so for magazines and comic books and stuff like that because of the way the production and distribution and retail works. My recommendation is if you care about the grade. If you don't care about the grade, then don't get it pressed. But if you care about the grade, you should get all of your issues pressed before you get them graded. From boxing and packaging at the printer, to the way they're put on a truck and distributed, to the way they're displayed at retail locations. All of those things can create flaws, and it's just simple to be able to go in there and press them and take most of those flaws out. So yes, I get all of my issues pressed, even my brand new ones. If I just bought an issue off the newsstand yesterday, you absolutely better believe I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna get it pressed. I press for a lot of collectors, comics and magazines. So if you're interested in my pressing service for fellow collectors, just drop a comment here on YouTube, shoot me a DM on social media, and be happy to talk to you about that. 5 slabs, all vintage issues. Vintage, by definition of CGC, is 1974 and older. Got a couple of game programs in here. Got a first cover that I've never owned before that I'm really excited about. So let's rock and roll. Let's see some high grades. Not expecting any 9.8s. They're all vintage, but hopefully get some nice high grades on this. That is not a high grade. That's a terrible grade. Oh, that's such a bummer. Oh, that's such a bummer. So this box has been sitting at CGC forever. So this is before I was, keeping track of my projected grades on a spreadsheet and that sort of stuff. So I can't remember, what I thought this was going to be. But this is Mean Joe Green and his first Sports Illustrated cover from October 11th, 1971. There's a 9.2, there's an 8.5, 6.5, and now 2 5.0s. Played his entire 13-year career with the Steelers. He was drafted in 1969, number 4 overall by the Steelers. 4 Super Bowl wins as part of that amazing steel curtain defense back there in the 70s. 10-time Pro Bowl. Went in the Hall of Fame in 1987. Got his nickname in college. He went to college at North Texas State. That's where he got his nickname, kind of carried on over into the pros. He even made an appearance in Smokey and the Bandit 2, but probably was made most famous in that famous Coke commercial, throwing the jersey to the kid. And let's see if I can play this. So let's take a look at that Coke commercial right now.
Please, take them out.
Mr. Green? Mr. Green?
Yeah.
You need any help? I just want you to know, I think you're the best ever.
Yeah, sure.
Want my Coke? It's okay, you can have it.
No.
Really, you can have it.
Okay.
A Coke and a smile makes me feel good, makes me feel nice.
Be around.
That's the way it should be. I like to say,
Hey, kid.
the whole world is smiling with me. Coca-Cola as life. Have a Coke and
Thanks, Mean Joe.
smile.
That was a lot of fun. Glad that worked out. Don't love this grade. 5.0. Mean Joe Green, first Sports Illustrated cover, does say first Mean Joe Green. And they even put mean on it. Mean Joe Green Sports Illustrated cover. That is a very disappointing grade on that one. Okay, so can only go up from here, right? Yeah, only goes up from here. Can only get better. Oh my. Oh my. 9.2. Holy. That is a big grade for this. If you don't recognize this, 1957 World Series game program. They did the right thing. This is where variants go. Milwaukee Braves edition. So I've talked about this before because I'm a big fan of World Series programs. When the game is played in either stadium produces a separate program. So 1957 World Series, this is the Milwaukee Braves variant. It was the Braves versus the Yankees. So when the games were played in Milwaukee, they printed this program. When the games were played in New York at Yankee Stadium, the Yankees printed a different program. So there's a Yankees variant out there. Very important to keep track of the both of them because they're going to be different. What a great looking cover. 1957 World Series. So Braves beat the Yankees in 7 games. It was the first and only World Series win for Hank Aaron. That's it. He won 1 World Series, and it was in 1957. Lou Burdett pitched 3 complete games and was the MVP of the series. Hank Aaron easily could have been the MVP of the series. He hit .393, 3 home runs, and 7 RBIs in the World Series. I am thrilled. Totally makes up for that piece of crap grade there from Mean Joe Green and that 5.0. That is a gorgeous 9.2 1957 World Series game program. This is a pop 1 of 1 and none graded higher, and the Milwaukee Braves variant. So now you'll see that broken out separately in the CGC census. There'll be the Braves edition and the Yankees edition. Really, really important. And now that this has been done, if you submit one just like this, you don't have to ask for that. It'll automatically be categorized in the proper area. Awesome. Oh, that is big time. Whew. That's good. Needed that one to make up for that Mean Joe Green cover there. Okay. 1957 World Series game program at 9.2. This is awesome. Okay, next up. Okay, so interesting here. Not nearly as good a grade. And I can see why. 1958 World Series game program, Milwaukee Braves edition. Again, broken out separately. So this is a pop 1 of 1, none higher. There's none graded higher than this one at 7.5. This, again, is the Braves variant. The Yankees beat the Braves this time. So after the Braves went in the 57 World Series, it was an exact rematch. The Yankees beat the Braves again, 7-game series. 8 Hall of Famers played in this World Series, including Yogi Berra, Whitey Ford, Mickey Mantle, Hank Aaron, and Eddie Matthews. That's a fun one. 1958 World Series program. Almost got my game programs confused there. Okay, expert level hobbyists. You'll recognize this cover right here, or the back of the cover, because this is the most collected, most graded Sports Illustrated out of all of them. And let's take a look and see what we got. Okay, I'll take it. 9.2, first ever copy of Sports Illustrated from August 16th, 1954. They still refuse to do this. I don't get it. I don't get it. So that's Eddie Matthews on the cover. And I've gotten a ton of these graded. Every single one I've made the request, first Eddie Matthews cover, and every single time they refuse to put it on there. So I'll keep making it. August 16th, 1954, there are 90 9.8s. That is the most 9.8s out of any issue that's ever been graded. There are 140 9.6s, 96 9.4s. There are well over 500 copies of this one graded. I tell the story about this just about every time because there are new people that keep coming into the hobby because you sit here and go, how can there be 90 copies at 9.8 when it's an issue from 1954? So in the production of this, the overrun of production, the extra copies, Sports Illustrated hung on to, and they put them in a warehouse, and they put them in a warehouse for 50 years. And then somebody at Sports Illustrated got the idea, said, hey, we got all these things not doing anything. How about we put these in a fancy leather binder and put a certificate of authenticity with it and sell them to people that read our magazines? And they did that on a number of different occasions, starting in the early 90s, and they even did that several times even through the early 2000s. You'll see most of them are in this maroon colored leather binder. But the last batch they did in the early 2000s, there's a black leather binder. So if you're looking to buy this raw, you might see a black leather binder version out there. So there's tons of these in the marketplace, but it is very collectible. This is the type of issue that brings people into the hobby that normally wouldn't be interested in graded magazines, but they're like, oh yeah, first copy of Sports Illustrated, I can be down with that. That's pretty cool. So there are a ton of these out there, but I love it, love it, love it. And 9.2 is a decent grade in that one. Okay, last one here. Hoping for something good, another vintage issue. Let's see what we got. So close. I was hoping this could be the highest graded copy, but it's not. But it does have the proper labeling. Floyd Patterson, first cover, June 4th, 1956. There are two 8.5s. There's now one 8.0 and two 7.5s. You know, he was the Ali or Tyson of his time, trained by Customato, who also famously trained Mike Tyson. So Rocky Marciano retired in 1956. And I thought this was so cool. The IBC, which was the big governing authority in boxing back then, decided to have a 6-fighter elimination tournament to crown the new heavyweight championship. That'd be freaking amazing if boxing could do something like that today. I'd love to see that today. So Floyd Patterson won the tournament and became the youngest heavyweight champion ever, only to be broken when Mike Tyson became heavyweight champion in the mid-'80s. Both of those guys trained by the famous and great Customato. So 8.0, Floyd Patterson, first Sports Illustrated cover from 1956. Ups and downs. This box was all over the place. It had a little bit of everything. It was a lot of fun to do. I appreciate you watching, and we'll do it again real soon. Thanks.